Hey everybody, Jerome Maldonado. Look, today I want to talk to you guys about my prediction on the real estate market. Off the records, all the media stuff, all of the news publications, everything, just off of what I've seen. Living back from 2008, coming back over through the economic recession, living the late 90s and getting started in my business back in the late 90s when there was an economic downturn. I want to kind of talk to you guys about what I've seen consistently over the last 25 plus years of being in business, traveling all over the country and shopping real estate all over the country. You guys have seen me all over, from the Carolinas to Chicago to New York to Florida, South Beach, all the way up into Virginia, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. And you guys have seen me shop and really pillage the country over the last year of 2020 and even 2019. And so as COVID has happened, we've been more conservative as far as how much traveling we've done. But if you recall last year, early part of the year, I was all over the place. And so one of the biggest things is I've been able to actually see the growth, talk to brokers, meet people, and talk to the people that actually live in the community. And so understanding markets, in my perspective, is a little bit more unique than just somebody that's doing it based off of normal calculations. And so I'll tell you, I've been impressed with the East Coast, and not just the Northeast, but even the Southeast and just the Central East Coast. And so the weather temperaments don't even really affect what's going on. I'm not a humidity individual, but I'll tell you that in spite of all the humidity in down South Florida right now is having some of the largest influx of population due to COVID and people migrating from New York down south. And so if you're interested in investing and you understand that what we've been talking about the forbearances and the moratorium expirations and stuff coming up in March, people sit back and they get worried. They say, okay, well, how is this going to affect our market? And for markets that are not experiencing influx of population, it's very nerve-wracking to invest in those cities. And so I'll be the first to tell you that if I go into any city and I ask a broker, or I go down to the municipality, like the building and zoning or planning and development department, and I ask them, what's your population growth? Can you show me a 5-year track roll of population growth? And when it's a declining number, or it's really plateaued, I get very apprehensive to purchase, especially large acquisitions in those cities. And the reason being is because if you purchase in those and the population decreases, what happens to your real estate? What happens to the financial feasibility of filling that real estate? What happens to the tenants that would normally occupy that space if businesses are moving out? So you take a look at states like California, right? Will California rebound? I think they will. I think that they're really, this is an eye-opener for the state of California. But truly, California, if I'm not mistaken, is the 3rd or 4th largest economy in the world, if it was its own country. And so economically, it'll hold it together. Even though right now they're sitting on the verge of bankruptcy, large corporations are leaving town. The tax situation there is overbearing for most Americans. And for small business owners, they're fleeing the state in droves right now. Now, California has a lot to offer, but will it be this year, next year, or the year after where it rebounds? No, it'll probably be the course of time. So great opportunity for long-term investors, people that want to buy and hold for a long period of time and see slow appreciations. It's a great place to invest, but not today. Prices are still too high, in my opinion. And we're still seeing the high end of a market that's broken down temporarily. And when I say temporarily, it's because my opinion that California will rebound back. It has a lot to offer, like I said, but you need to wait until the market really shows its presence. And when the market really shows its presence, believe you me, the media will be advertising it, but you can't wait till the media advertise it. You yourself, if you're interested in investing in these areas, need to go out and do your own market research. People say, okay, I'm just gonna wait for the media to start advertising it, and at that point in time, I'll go start buying. Too late. Once the media knows about it, so does the whole world. And guess what? Every other investor is already there, and the good ones have been there because they've been studying the market sectors. And so watch the market as it declines, and in maybe 2 years from now, maybe even 3 years from now, California will be a great market to invest in and a perfect time to start picking up real estate for discounted prices, maybe sooner. But you have to watch that market. Now, Where are these people fleeing to is the question. And so what most people sit back and they watch, they focus on California being a distressed market and everything that's happening. But where are these people moving to? And so I already see people moving here to New Mexico, but I see more people moving into Texas. People from Northern California moving into Wyoming, into Idaho, Utah, Nevada, Henderson. That whole area there in Nevada has become very attractive. Nevada has no state taxes. It's a good place to live. The median family income is strong and housing is inexpensive. Great place to live. Same thing in Idaho. Zoning laws are great, a great place to do business, and a very business-friendly state. And so these places are starting to grow. So if you're looking at people where they're moving out of California, even people in large corporations are moving into Oregon and Washington State, which I feel that market, Washington State and Oregon, will probably be hit very minimal in the whole economic downturn. Does that mean that everybody's safe in those areas? Absolutely not. There's people, there's homeowners and investors that made mistakes even in those market sectors. So there will be opportunity, and they will get hit with bumps in the road as we move into these moratorium expirations and these forbearances, as they start to show their true colors as we move in and through 2021. And so those are even good markets to buy in because those markets will not be affected as much. And so if they get shaken up, prices slightly drop for a short time, they'll come back and rebound quicker than most other markets. And so a lot of times we look at different markets for different purposes. We want some stuff that we can have in long-term holds where maybe we're investing, anticipating downturns a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, and then economic growth a little bit slower. But we also want markets where the decline happens fast, we invest, but the rebound happens quicker as well. We can ride that wave on the incline quicker, where we can take those profits, either 1031 exchange them, buy, sell, and reinvest them and into another property. And so we can continue moving in our real estate game. But the majority of our real estate we like to buy and hold is the main goal. But right now the opportunity sits where you can buy and hold, you can buy, invest, watch appreciation, turn those properties and reinvest that capital into something else, which is great. So for those of you guys who are living on the East Coast, my prediction is that the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, Charlottesville, great areas to invest. Florida, all of Florida, Pensacola, all the way through Jacksonville, moving down south, more centralized into Orlando, St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, very attractive places for a lot of investors and people retiring. So a big influx there. And then you move all the way south. You move into the international brand of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, where it doesn't matter where you go in this world, you say Miami, and it's like the gateway to Latin America, and everybody in the world knows where Miami is. A very solid market. It's been on the incline for a long period of time. I think it's going to get shaken up, just like I think the Pacific Northwest will. But I think the rebound period in South Beach is going to be really quick and very, 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 very influential as far as investors. And so as you move through the whole state of Florida, I think it's a great place to invest. You're looking at places now like Tennessee, Georgia, great places to invest. Prices are still low enough in those cities where you can go in and get good fair market value real estate and watch the healthy growth and appreciation with the influx of people coming from the northern East Coast down south and taking advantage of those inexpensive, more rural living, but they still have the amenities of the large cities if they're closer to like Memphis or Tallahassee and some of the bigger cities that have influx of population. And so a lot of room for growth. But people are going in from inner city living into more rural areas right now. And so where you want to be looking is you want to be looking at progressively growing cities economically, population-wise, that have things to offer. Outdoor living, growth as far as restaurants and business and entertainment. And so those are the cities that will continue to move and continue to grow. You look at Texas, more central. You look at Oklahoma. And I'll tell you, for those of you guys that don't know, I never really looked at investing in Oklahoma, although I know it's a great market for many, many, many investors. There's places right now like Tulsa, Oklahoma that have been very, very proactive. They want the influx of population and business, so they're offering incentives to people moving into town. They'll fly you out, they'll house you for free for several months to be able to get you to live there, enjoy what Tulsa, Oklahoma has to offer, and then they increase their population. Great place to invest in rooftops, multifamily, single family home investments, also commercial and industrial, because it's so centrally located. You look at Texas, from Houston, Fort Worth, the Dallas-Fort Worth, Arlington corridor, one of the best places centrally to invest in real estate. I think that market is going to hold solid. Austin, Texas has been on the incline for the last decade, and it continues to grow, continues to be one of the most desirable places to live in central United States, down in Austin and in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So those are all markets to keep your eye on. Depending on where you are demographically, I believe that all those cities are going to hold strength and value. If you're up north, in the north, more central area, the Illinois area, all the way up into the Chicago corridor, and within an hour within that corridor, there's a lot of distribution. Facebook is growing out there. Amazon is building massive warehouses. Industrial warehouse space is strong in those areas. We're facilitating and negotiating deals in those areas as we currently speak. And so as you look at the market sectors, those are the ones that I feel have the best potential for investors over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. And so understanding that it is important to go in, stay consistently shopping these market sectors, whether it's just having brokers send you new listings and watching what the market's doing. Watch what's going on the market, watch what's going off the market. Look at the type of properties that people are purchasing, the type of properties that people are not purchasing, and they're staying on the market for a long duration of time, and where the market sectors and growth are growing population-wise. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very unforeseen time for most people. The best thing you can give to yourself this year for Christmas is an investment in education. And educating yourself in real estate, if you want to invest, is one of the single most important things that you need to spend your time investing your New Year's resolution towards, so that you can make your 2021 profitable in spite of what's happening with COVID, in spite of what's happening with everything out there, in spite of what the media is saying. And you focus on you, your investments, your direction, and your 2021. And if you want to have more content just like this, and you like what you're hearing, give us a big fat thumbs up and pound that subscribe button for more content, and join us on YouTube for stuff just like this. We'll see you there.